Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the New England Patriots and the Detroit Lions. With that, let's head inside the Ford Field in Detroit. We're standing by are the two men who will bring you this one, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Ford Field tunnels, and the noise level in this place just about off the charts. They are set for football as the Lions get ready to do battle with the New England Patriots. And hi again, everybody. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, when you and I were going through our final run-throughs at breakfast, we kept thinking tonight we're going to get to see a couple of very good passing offenses.
And we're talking about both sides having multiple receivers that could have an impact on this game. It's not just one guy that's going to make all the plays. If you take him away, maybe number 2, number 3, they make the big plays that impact who wins the game.
Tom Brady gets set to line them up on offense here for the New England Patriots. A Week 2 loss in a very steamy Jacksonville. Last week, Charles, you talked about the heat might be a factor, and it was.
But when you talk about 97 degrees with a heat index of 107 at kickoff, you're exactly right. That's steamy for everyone, but especially for a team coming from the Northeast to play in the South. And Tom Brady, when he's had his struggles in his career, many of them have been in the state of Florida when the heat has been high, whether it's at Tampa, at Miami, or Jacksonville.
Yeah, the 6 games, the 6 hottest games that he's played in his career, 1-5. How about that? A first carry now for Rex Burkhead. And he powers his way up past the 30. It's Sylvester Williams there to bring him down. As the offensive starters pop up on your screen, Charles, let me ask you, Chris Hogan, what does he bring to this offense?
A guy that you look at and really don't circle in your game plan. If there's other guys that you look at, then you realize this guy can do damage. Finds his way open on almost every snap.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. The tackle made there by Jared Davis. And the starting crew defensively for Detroit.
Finishing in the top 10 in the NFL with 12 sacks last year was Ziggy Ansah, and I just absolutely love his backstory. Went to BYU to run track, maybe play some basketball. Instead discovered a game he'd never played before. American football. And now look at him, a perennial double-digit sack guy in the league.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3-and-out here on 3rd and 4.
20.
Shotgun now for Brady. Quickly to Gronkowski. That's caught. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Gronkowski had a frustrating week 2, just 15 yards, a pair of catches in that loss to Jacksonville. So many people were curious how the Gronk-Ramsey matchup would go after the Ramsey jawing, but it never really materialized, did it?
No, Jalen Ramsey plays the corner, so not very often is he going to be on Rob Gronkowski, only in certain formations. So that was really a non-issue. Gronk did have a big opening week against Houston, 123 yards. But after the game, he gave credit to Jacksonville with how they defended him and said he has to study tape and figure out better ways to get open.
As Matthew Stafford brings out the Detroit Lions, let's talk about what they did in Week 2. Better than Week 1, but still a loss at San Francisco, Charles, 30-27.
And still playing from way behind. They were down big before they mounted a comeback to make it close in San Francisco. Give Matthew Stafford credit. He put his 4-interception performance against the Jets on Monday night behind him, enough to throw 3 touchdown passes, but not enough to get Matt Patricia, their rookie head coach, his first victory.
Yeah, now sitting at 0-2 heading into Week 3. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 20. Now the longtime Patriot. It's LeGarrette Blount. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. And we look now at the Lions offense.
One way I really judge a player's value is when opponents know what your strengths are, yet they still can't take that away. That tells me you're a heck of a player. And for Theo Riddick, everyone knows about his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, yet he's still the primary target for Matthew Stafford on just about any passing situation.
Off of play action. Here's Stafford. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. On first down, it's Stafford. And to the left side here, Wilson. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. And the big meat on the D-line. We'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Out of the gun, Stafford. It's complete to Golden Tate. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
On first down, Stafford here. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. To the air again, Stafford. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. And it's second down.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that that could be a really, really frequent combination. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. He'll run it here with Blount. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And the 2015 first-round pick, Malcolm Brown, brings him down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he couldn't hang on on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
So on 4th down, the Lions turn it over to Matt Prater for the field goal try. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. These kickers now, used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Brady and the Patriots now 1st and 10 right at the 30. Throwing on 1st down is Brady. Allen has it left side. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. To throw, it's Brady. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. And is that Gronkowski the one slow to get up? Yes. Gronk still down right now. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Well, that 2nd down completion, something of a disaster, and now they're left with 3rd and long. Brady going to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, 1st quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Allen on to punt as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 18. Oh, he faked it. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game because you can it's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
They'll run it here. This is James White. And down inside the 15 he goes. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
The Patriots into the red zone for the first time. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On 2nd down, here's Brady. This is White on the screen. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there because trying it is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
So negative yardage, a loss of 3 on 2nd down, and that leads to a tough 3rd down call. Working from the gun, it's Brady. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Chris Hogan, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Pats have taken the early lead.
When you're a great route runner, it makes you that much better as a receiver because now your quarterback trusts that you're going to be where he expects, and he's able to deliver the ball on time.
Now Stephen Gostkowski on for the extra point. Gostkowski with the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So that drive, 4 plays, and it ends with a New England touchdown. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. On the return, here comes Amir Abdullah. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game, are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They start on the ground here with Blunt, and able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now a carry for Blunt. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a 1st down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Now Blunt. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. From the gun, here's Stafford. And he'll find Galladay, and it's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a 1st down. So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Here's Blunt. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Tate. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And on this challenge, the refs have to take a peek and see whether or not the receiver was able to dot the I with both feet,
while making sure that he possesses the football all the way through the catch.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
You ready? Lady?
And they'll go with a ground attack here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8.
Set. Lady.
Operating from the gun. Stafford. And Tate's got it. And down inside the 15 he goes. His 4th catch already in this first quarter. It's a first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do in that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
The Lions into the red zone for the first time. It's 1st and 10 at the 14.
Set. 180.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Set. Lady.
And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the first quarter. 7-3 the score. We're back to the Motor City after this. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out. Throwing is Stafford. He hits his target. It's the tight end, Torlolo. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Waiting.
Now Stafford. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Luke Wilson from 3 yards out. And the Lions are in for 6.
Luke Wilson spent 5 years with the Seahawks, most of that time playing behind Jimmy Graham. I think he's going to get a few more looks in this Lions offense. He just capitalized on one of them right there. 11 touchdowns, 5 years with Seattle. I expect that number to jump in Detroit.
Now Matt Prater for the point after. Prater for the extra point. And the lead is now 10-7. So that drive spans 13 plays. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And now out come the Patriots. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
So Brady and the Pats take over 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the gun, it's Brady. And to the right side here, it's Allen. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. From the gun, Brady. His throw incomplete. Philip Dorsett, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
New England on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun, Brady, and incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
They had enough yards for the 1st down, but a clutch hit right there defensively. Jars it free, no 1st down.
Here's Ryan Allen now as he's on to punt for New England. He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Lions will take over. Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. He's played a pretty clean 1st half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 16. They'll begin here with Blunt. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Set. 180.
And they'll go on the ground. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Now a play fake here on first down. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down. A CD switching gears for a second. You know, after last year, 7 NFL head coaches were relieved of their duties. And in week 1 of this season, those 7 coaches went 0-7. They fared a little better, though, in week 2.
They certainly did. Finally got into the win column. 3 of those happened. 1 in Chicago, 1 in Tennessee, and 1 in Indianapolis. Finally getting off the schneid. The other guys trying to get it done in week 3.
Yeah, including John Gruden. Curious to see when he gets his first victory out west. To throw is Stafford. Out to the right here to Wilson. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
The Lions on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, Stafford, and that is incomplete.
Defending an out route is awfully difficult because the best receivers try and sell an inside move before they break to the out, and you have to respect that as a defensive guy because if you let them, what they say, cross your face or get across you in the middle of the field, usually you're beating on a route, and that's an easier throw for the quarterback. So you ordinarily take a step over to make sure you seal that off. In this case, he was able to not only do that, but react back to the sideline and bat the ball down.
On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Brady and the Patriots now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
20!
Brady now to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. A play fake for Burkhead. Now Brady. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Ziggy Ansah. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. Well, shame on them, Coach Davis. They went against your advice. They threw the football, and now they're backed up to punt this away.
They're actually fortunate. They went against my advice, but they didn't turn it over, right? No takeaway for the defense. They'll punt it now. They probably could have gained a few yards if they ran it, though, and helped out with field position.
Taken at about the 36. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field.
They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. The drive starts with a handoff to Blunt. And he'll take it across the 50 and into New England territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
Stafford on 1st down. And Jones has it over the middle. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker. Monday.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. Because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. That is incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
plans on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
4 down. Check. Set. 180.
Out of the gun, Stafford. And he locates Luke Wilson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
First and 10, Stafford. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Dante Hightower. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops. Well, let's take a step away from this game for a second. Talk about teams that are undefeated through 2 weeks in the NFL season. Miami, Denver, Cincinnati, Tampa Bay. How about those surprises all being 2-0 right now?
Yeah, the Jaguars, the Chiefs, and the Rams are all 2-0. Not a major surprise. You're exactly right, because they have one common characteristic, those teams you mentioned, Miami, Denver, Cincinnati, and Tampa. None of them made the playoffs last year. And what's the one thing we do know about the NFL? Roughly half the teams that made the playoffs a year before will not make them 2 years in a row. So these teams could be some of the early replacements in the playoff race for 2018.
And one more stat, 62% of teams that start 2-0 make the playoffs. So Brady and the Pats take over 1st and 10 at their own 11. Brady going to give this one to Burkhead. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Now Brady throwing on 2nd down. Throw left side complete. It's Gordon. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there, 26 yards. On 1st and 10, here's Brady. Allen's got it over the middle. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
Now Burkhead. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them. Providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
From midfield, here's Brady. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
New England on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Shotgun now for Brady. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Here's Ryan Allen now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. Back out for another drive comes LeGarrette Blount. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 20. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they'll get him down here at the 23. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Fans, a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime previews. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando when this one reaches halftime. Did I do okay?
You did great. Not a bad job.
Hey.
Writing down your ad-libs.
If you print it, I'm going to read it. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards that time for number 19. First down at Stafford. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Chung. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So the Patriots coming out now. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
So after the INT, it's Brady. Quickly to Gronkowski. That's caught. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 40. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
20!
Working from the gun, it's Brady. Philip Dorsett holds it in. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Go.
Brady now, 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10.
20!
Throwing on first down, it's Brady. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Hogan. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout, and now we're set to get going. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
20!
Now Brady again. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. The Patriot passing game is rolling. They've got another first down.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
First down now, but the clock continues to move. So again, they'll throw with Brady. And a dump off to White. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. James White in the final seconds of the first half. And the Pats able to cash in for 6.
Well, someone has a sense of the dramatic here, don't they? Scoring this late in the half to take the lead going into the locker room.
Now they just don't want to misstep misfortune on the next kickoff because there's still a little bit of time left on that clock.
Yeah, you do have to bring that up, don't you? In the NFL, every play is critical. And if you give up something cheap there, all that advantage they just gained goes right out the window.
The point after try for Gostkowski. Extra point good by Gostkowski. And the lead is now 14-10. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it's finished off by a Pats touchdown. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. Now Abdullah, the return. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The final shot before the break, Stafford. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason McCourty. So at halftime, it's the Patriots with the advantage. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you got to expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Now Abdullah, the return. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. And he's looking to take much better care of the football here in half 2 after 3 first-half interceptions.
We don't have to just look strictly at the numbers here. You know what else happens to a team when you turn it over 3 times like that? It erodes confidence in you. And it erodes confidence in the offense. And now you have the defensive guys looking over and saying, what is going on here? And instead of playing for the team, they're playing angry and mad at their teammates.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down.
Set. 180.
And they'll run it here. And Blount loses the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The Lions on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 4. Now Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Here's Sam Martin now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Patriots offensive unit. They'll have it first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
How about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Brady and the Patriots now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Wait, 20! Wait, 20! Wait, we got now! Wait, we get!
Now Brady. Over the middle, complete. That's Gordon. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule.
20! Wait, again!
On play action, it's Brady. Looking left side, and it's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Brady now on 1st down. Goes underneath here to White. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage. So here's 2nd and 11. Again, it's Brady. Over the middle, that's caught by Hogan. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
New England on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 8.
Wait, 20!
Brady to throw again. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Kerry Hyder in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, that's the second time they've gotten to Brady, and you've got to do it a variety of ways. You want your regular pressure. Sometimes you have to bring extra. But in this case, they got to him, and that just doesn't happen very often.
It's a rarity. He's just such a veteran. His pocket presence so good. But, hey, tip of the cap to the D. Here's Ryan Allen now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still first down.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. There to stop him, Juwan Bentley.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 11. Now it's Stafford. And that is incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And the Patriots take over. Here comes Tom Brady and the Patriot offense back onto the field. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. They go play action here on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Well, we got a second here after that incompletion. Let's have a little fun. I know you saw Ryan Fitzpatrick's get up in the post-game press conference after week 2.
And we're not talking about the beard this time.
No, well, that was part of the ensemble.
We're talking about the trappings, aren't we?
How about that outfit? Those were Deshaun Jackson's clothes, is that right?
That's my understanding. Clothes, jewelry, shades, the whole deal. He came out and paid homage to his guy who got him a 75-yard touchdown pass in the game, and everyone had a ball with it. Media, team, Fitzpatrick, you name it. I'm sure Deshaun Jackson got kick out of it as well. Personally, I thought he raided your closet because when I saw him come out, I said, hold a second. That's how Brandon dresses when we leave the ball game.
My favorite thing, though, from all of this was the social media posts that had 2 different pictures. On the left, it was his freshman year at Harvard. Looked like the All-American boy. And then that press conference photo on the right. You want to talk about the alter ego of somebody? That was it right there. New England on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is third down and 12.
White 20! White 20!
From the gun, it's Brady. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be fourth down.
They dialed up the blitz on third down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
Here's Ryan Allen now as he's on to punt for New England. This is taken at about the 14. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here come the Lions now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 23. From the gun, here's Stafford. Looking sideline, incomplete. Kenny Galladay, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. Well, taking a glance across the NFL through 2 weeks of the season, you've got quite a few teams that are winless, which obviously makes sense 2 weeks in. But the John Gruden era not off to the best start there at 0-2, Charles.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, Brandon. I mean, the Raiders, I believe this is the 15th time in franchise history they've started 0-2. None of the previous 14 times have they started 0-2 and made the playoffs. So the John Gruden era, not off to the start they're looking for, but I do think they're going to improve during the year. I wouldn't rule them out just yet. They might make a little bit of history with their franchise. I think the Steelers and the Browns at 0-1-1, it's an odd record, but the Browns actually feel halfway decent about it if they can fix their kicking. The Steelers, utterly disappointed they're 0-1-1.
Yeah, but the Browns, you're right, they could very easily be 2-0 right now. The Lions on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. And he locates Luke Wilson. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Stafford now, 5 straight completions here in this second half, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Dante Hightower on the stop.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun, Stafford. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
So Brady and the Pats take over 1st and 10 at their own 16. They begin the drive on the ground. It's White. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. He was brought down by Devon Kennard.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
20! Like 20!
Brady to throw on 2nd down. The throw left side complete to Hogan. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. New England on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. Here it's 3rd and 2.
20!
On the run, it's Burkhead. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the 1st. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now Brady throwing on 2nd down. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
New England on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Like 20!
Shotgun now for Brady. They will find his man. That's Hogan, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Brady finding Hogan on 3rd down, and the Patriots able to convert. That time a slant. Brady in general on those quick hitters, he just releases the ball so fast.
He does, and he's so accurate, but most of the time he wins before the ball's even snapped by his pre-snap read. Finds out where the defense is and delivers it to the proper place.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
20! Like 20!
Brady now to throw. He's got Allen. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. almost his bread and butter, is a good running back dive play.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. To throw is Brady. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. And he's got an open man. It's Gronkowski. Brady to Gronkowski for the Patriot 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On 1st down, Brady. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
So they had the big loss on that 1st down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. They'll run. This is Burkhead. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. Call it 7 yards on the carry, so a pretty good game, but still left with a tough 3rd and 8.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. We get set for the 4th quarter. Patriots have the lead. They also have the football. So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Working from the gun, it's Brady. Open man, Gronkowski complete. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And Gostkowski's kick is good. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 26. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. He got 29 yards that time.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Stafford now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Stafford. This is Riddick on the screen. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out in the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
On 1st down at Stafford. And finding the tight end Wilson. And he'll go down at the 28. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Stafford looks to throw again. Over the middle here to Wilson. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Stafford to the former Seahawk Wilson for Lions first.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Stafford going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. He hits his target. It's the tight end, Toilolo. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
The Lions on third down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Set. 260.
From the gun, Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
On second down, here's Stafford. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. As his guys are in for 6. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up. An out route there for the score. A quick out route there for the score.
Yeah, you're not really surveying the defense on this one. You're just counting on timing, making this play happen. 1-2, ball's out of his hands. Knows where he's going, just puts it to the outside. Touchdown.
And now a critical extra point attempt here. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. That time a 9-play drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. Now it's Patterson. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Patriots offense now. They work their way back onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Brady and the Patriots now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Wait, 20! 20!
A play fake for Burkhead. Now Brady. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. That'll be a New England 1st down, a gain of 12.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
So we'll have a challenge here, and this one could go a long way towards determining the game's outcome with our score tied here in the 4th.
And one thing I have to keep reminding myself of, every time we run into this situation, there must be indisputable visual evidence in order to overturn a call or to change it. So that has to happen. Everyone's got to be on the edge of their seats.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
They'll run now with Burkhead. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 15 yards on that one, and New England has a first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Again, they run with Burkhead. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or two short here with 3rd down coming up.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. They keep it on the ground. White again. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. So just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Brady now on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Brady. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete. So the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Now Brady, and able to find Dorsett. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
go. 20, like 20. Now we go.
They go play action here on first down. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Sylvester Williams breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. They'll run it now out of the gun. About 3 yards there to the 27.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. On 3rd and long, it's Brady. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And Gostkowski's kick is good. And with that, they take the lead here, 20-17. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. Throwing on first down is Brady. Looking middle, it's caught by Gronkowski. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard, and you probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about that little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback hit you.
Brady to throw on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Brady. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
A big spot now for Stephen Gostkowski. From the left hash, this from 39. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. Now Abdullah, the return. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Stafford on 1st down. The left side completion to Jones. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Jones. And he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down. So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. From the gun, here's Stafford. Out to the flat for Reddick. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Throwing again is Stafford. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Eric Rowe that time able to knock that pass away. Well, these corners, I tell you, they've done excellent work all game long.
They remind me of guys in the past who just said, hey, throw it out here 100 times. Nothing good is going to happen. And if you throw it in the wrong place, I'll take it the other way.
So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down. He's back to throw. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. The clock still runs. We're at 90 seconds now. He'll look to throw. To the right and complete to Galladay. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Back to throw. And he dumps it off to Blount. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. Back to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown. And they're an extra point away from taking the lead here in the final minute. Now they can boot it through on the always important extra point, and then their defense has to hold up their end of the bargain.
And there's something that you've pointed out in numerous games that we've worked. Okay, the excitement's going on. Everyone's celebrating over there. Who's calling up the defense to make sure they're focused, because they still have some work to do?
And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Prater on to add the extra point. A very important extra point there, up and good. And that is going to put them on top by a point, and it sets us up for quite a finish. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. Now it's Patterson. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Tom Brady leads the offense out for their next possession. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another fourth-quarter comeback?
And it's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, they're maybe the most nervous people in the stadium because they've seen this happen to too many people before, too many teams. They've got to find a way to shut him down.
Here we go again for the grizzled vet. Brady to throw. Over the middle, Dorsett. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That'll be a New England first down and gain of 12. Brady going to throw. And now a fumble. Brady loses the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball, so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Now we're going to get a timeout here called by the Patriots, as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. They'll run again with Blunt. Now whistles blow, and the Patriots are going to take another timeout as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Now they try the right side here. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. All right, so the timeout over, and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. Accelerating, and off he goes. The 20. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages. So now Brady and the Patriots going for two. They're going to try and run. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line.
Well, I don't think it takes much to crawl into their mind, right, why they went for 2 there, even though they were unsuccessful. With this type of a lead, what they're worried about, right, and less than 10 seconds on the clock, what they're worried about is just giving up the touchdown.
Yeah, on the kickoff return.
Yeah, so you go for it here to try and ensure yourself. Now they've got to make sure they cover it, otherwise they could actually lose.
Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. Now Abdullah, the return. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. One last throw here for Stanford. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Devin McCourty picks it off. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here, coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the ones you focus on. And that last play was one of them. The last shot had to take it, and they came up with the interception and sealed their victory.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Detroit.